Alright, there we go. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the first pilot episode of Shoot the Breeze, interview segments all around and a chill time for you and me. I'm your host, Heavy Divider, and for tonight, right now, will be my first guest. He is a master of his own craftsmanship, be it model making, RPs, Photoshop, video editing, as well as basically being an overall chill personality for everybody around him in general. For most, he would be known as Heavy Duty Machine Gun, but for all friends, he is known as HDMG. Welcome, HD.
Hello.
Hello.
Thank you. Feels good to be here.
Yeah, not a problem. So, I got a question for you. How the hell did we meet?
How the hell did we meet? Okay, so I want to say it's okay. Correct me wrong. But I feel like we spoke properly after I got introduced to you by Saya, specifically.
Yeah,
and it was a scene that we did.
Yeah, it was definitely. I would assume.
Specifically.
I feel like it was definitely through Saya. I could feel it at the most part. I also feel like through Saya in general, I might have met you for somebody else too. I feel like it might have been like a Detective Zero. I think.
Detective Zero.
That was a long. Yeah, it's been a while.
I think it's been like a.
It's been a blur.
Like a while since. Yeah.
Just mostly a blur in general. Oh yeah, mostly a blur in general, especially with the fact that like a lot of things that pass by here or so. But hey, for the most part, even if we haven't like sat down and just talk a lot about things in general, we're still able to catch up on a lot of things overall. Like it could have been like a month or so until we finally sat down and just like shoot the breeze and just kind of like talk a little bit about what's going on in our lives here and there. So
I literally pinned it down. I pinned it down like to a T.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Los Anagram.
Oh boy, yeah.
Los Anagram. There was a new as an RP thing, but it was a Losin last year, and I took a selfie with you, and it was a really awkward scene. But that's
no, it's fine. It's all good. No, it's all good. But hey, like I said, it's been a while from that, and here we are. You know, current, present, and everything, still going strong. So it'll be all good for the most part. So I can't wait to see where this is going to go for the most part. But also, let's go ahead and dive a little bit about your backstory here. Let's go into about VRChat origins for the most part. Get a little topic.
VRChat origins, okay.
Yeah. How did you first start within VRChat entirely?
Well, most people, it was through nags. And I'm not shitting you. Like I was before even like stepping into Twitter, right?
Mm-hmm.
A place I never thought I would really get into. I was a Facebook fanatic, right? And I just scrolled through my timeline. I'm noticing like there's this game that this one guy was playing, and it was a game where it's like he was getting stabbed by another chick. I'm like, oh, this is fucking hilarious, you know. And then like later on, I found out looking through comments like it's VRChat. I'm like VRChat. And it was hilarious. Like the scene that they're doing was priceless. I'm like, I want to have fun too. So I hop in on my, let's see, really shit build 960 over there, but it was good for its time. I found out you can be in desktops. I didn't need VR. I'm like, bonus. Didn't work. No, not well because I went to the wrong worlds. Because every world I went to was really laggy. It was like unoptimized, and this was like.
This was
2018.
Yeah, this is 2018.
January 1st. Yeah, January 1st, 2018 was when I first dipped my toes into VRChat. It was New Year's, and then I was in Times Square, and then fireworks were going off, and I had no one around me except for myself. And I'm like, okay, well, this is cool. I might not touch it though because it was too laggy. I even like uninstalled it once. I'm like, nah. I got back into it because literally everything else is boring, and I couldn't really run most other games. I'm like, I'll screw it and just play this for a little bit. And then I got I got more into it. I made a friends group that I see from time to time now, but I was chilling with them mainly throughout my 2 years now in VRChat.
And I assume it's the group I assume it's part of that Discord group I'm part of, the SSS or so. That group?
No, actually it's a group from a while ago. Like I met them in this world. They go their names specifically Naughty, Swartz, Indy, and Iron Bro. Like those were the four main names I stuck. I remember fully. And then more people came along, but they come and gone.
Mm-hmm.
And I was with them for 2 years. Also dipping my toes into streaming at the time, where I mainly streamed VRChat on YouTube. and it was all desktop mode shit, and it was a lot of fun. But now we're here. I'm on Twitch.
Yeah, I actually, funny you should mention that because that was actually going to be one of the other questions I have on here. Is because I noticed that before you ever came to Twitch or anything, you were actually doing a lot of things on YouTube or so. Like, there's a lot of archive stuff that you have left on your YouTube account that you show here and there.
Yeah, I was there for a bit because I was really dedicated to what was known as Zeros Gaming. That's where I started out as. It dipped though because it was supposed to be an IRL friend group, like friend streaming sort of thing, right? Where we all just dip our content, and I was the only one doing it.
Oh, I got you.
Okay, well, you know, and then I eventually just went with my original because HDMG has been for years. It's evolved since I was back in high school. Like, it used to stand for high definition minor gaming. Which I was just called HDM Gaming for a long time. I'm like, yeah, sure, it sounds cool like 3 years ago. It doesn't sound cool now. You sound like a toddler, you know. So I have to switch it up. I'm like,
I got you. I got you. I was gonna say, I love the fact that basically when it comes to like certain names that people have now, it always originates from like say middle school, say high school, and basically it's from there to now where basically it just sticks with you. Like basically something special about where you came up with it, and just basically held on to that title is what makes it more along the lines of kind of like defining of what you want to do with just that name in general. You know, something of your own personal. And sometimes certain things just like come out of nowhere too to really bring that name in general. Like I assume that's where it just kind of came from in high school. Like some idea gave it to you, or
well, it's like, it's how to spawn. It spawned off of my IRL friend I've known for about 10 years, and you know he's the one who taught me like a lot about cars and racing and stuff. And we both started out a YouTube channel with music. It was promotional music, and then I'm like, I want to branch off to my own stuff, see if I can build a channel myself. I tried, and I died really quickly. So I'm like, yeah, and then Zeros Gaming is still called Zeros Gaming on YouTube right now. That evolved a lot. Then I was the only one really doing anything. But like, I saw potential, a lot of potential. I'm like,
I know
I can handle this.
I mean, yeah, and also the fact that, you know, even if you were carrying the entire workload on hand, at least through that workers mentality, or so you kind of like built your own, you know, work, you know, kind of like what am I thinking of? Work, kind of like ethic. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was trying to I almost said I was trying to think of what the word was, but yeah, ethic. You build your own work ethic, and because of that, so it looks like it has evolved over time too. Because I know you've been doing like a lot of things on your shoulders here and there, and I'm surprised you're able to balance a lot of that out.
Yeah. I'm not gonna say it's not easy. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. It's definitely not easy, but you have to have the sort of like mentality to do it, right? Don't digress too much, otherwise you're not gonna do it at all. And, you know, I made that mistake a few times here and there.
You got to be driven too, you know, like especially if you have a goal set in mind, you want to be driven to it to be able to kind of like, even if it's like, you know, stone by stone, you're stacking up to get there. You're definitely going to get there for the most part. Just take some time.
It's dedication. That's why, like, my title mainly stay dedicated, because without dedication, you don't get anywhere. You know, you won't accomplish your goals. You won't meet. You don't get the future that you want. Which is why it's like a constant reminder to myself, and as well to probably instill some motivation to others. Like, stay dedicated. Do what you gotta do. Right.
Right. That's very good. That's a very good quote for everybody to kind of live by, especially, you know, if you have the patience to do it, you definitely will get to it, and plus it'll make it just much more sweeter too, because that's when you know everything paid off. So, all right. For my next question on hand, I would like to ask: do you have any other hobbies on hand besides this game in general?
Hobbies. Car stuff from time to time. Photography. Sorry.
No, you're good.
Photography. I take random pictures of stuff because I tend to see beauty in a lot of things. It's mainly the sky, because my favorite color is blue. It's pretty obvious at this point. But aside from that, it's also like there's a lot of stuff up there that looks amazing, and then you look at nature and just with the mix of the landscape and stuff like that, it's like, oh wow, this is perfect, this is pristine, right? but I also mainly say the car thing, because again, my friend has gotten me into them for a period of time, and I was into it at a young age, but I wasn't as into it before because I didn't understand it fully. I just knew cars go vroom. Yes, and then I later on I was taught that the cars do more than just go vroom. They do this, to do this, to do this, and it's also cool to delve into the cultures of said things, right? Which also mixed in with photography too, because I took pictures of a lot of cars during my lifetime. I probably have a Google Drive full of car pictures and edits here and there. And again, I blame my friend for that because he's a professional photographer, right? He takes like cars pictures for a living on Facebook, and it's really good. And I helped him a few times, when we go to the track, take photos of like drifting, racing, and then later on the line I started doing my own stuff. And then I took it to this game, finding out that you can have the VRC camera. I'm like, oh, this is cool. I can work with this. I love it a lot. And then there's different worlds to have, such as this one. Like, it's different forms of beauty. There's a planet over there. You can't replicate that in real life.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, and also too, when it comes down to it, or so, basically, when it comes down to the creative mind of anybody, no matter if you're a model maker or like a world maker, you can picture something in your own head of what it would look like. Like sure, there's certain things, like especially with everything here, like the backdrops and all. The thing about it too is basically the backdrops create like this certain beauty to it, where basically you can picture, like certain things happening with that in the background. Like it could just be like, say, say like you and your group of friends just basically looking out to another planet. You against an entire world or so, or basically it'd be like a sunset basically in the background. That's basically you guys cultivating and just basically spending time with one another, being able to share those precious moments you have on hand. So
it's all beautiful in its own way, I'd say building a world in VRChat's like building a car IRL. It takes imagination, it takes forward thinking.
Yeah,
obviously dedication too, and he came out with amazing results, or results he can improve on, but you still are trying.
A lot of dedication to it, as well as basically learning like certain parts to it or so. I mean, especially if like if you're going to be building an engine to a car or so, you're going to be learning like what this part is for it to be able to like make this thing go. Especially with like say avatars or so, you got to know certain coding on hand just to be able to figure out how weight painting works, or basically figuring out how the right measurements for say certain clothing you're trying to make from scratch.
Exactly. Yeah.
So,
and it goes hand in hand. I'd say that's my main hobbies. Yeah.
Your main hobbies. I got you. Let's talk about RPs, shall we? Let's talk a little.
Yes.
Let's talk a little about RPs. So let's start with the drawback here. Let's go all the way back. What exactly was your first RP entirely?
My first RP was with okay, so how do I mix the two? Because I didn't really exactly know about the metaverse until Leo Leonhardt like got me into stuff. Because I wanted oh crap, it goes way back. Okay,
like early 2018 or so, or
2018, almost 19. I told myself, hey, I've gotten really into VRChat. I may still be desktop mode, but I can probably still do things here and there, and then eventually get VR and do my own shit, right? I'm like, well, wonder what I look like as a chick. That's where it started out with, It literally, first version of Kara, today was shorter, and just like what I pictured myself as. So she have like a long sleeve, camo pants. I really like camo, and then her shirt had like the Zeros logo that says Yeet United underneath, because like a lot of people within our community at the time said Yeet a lot, and I'm like, well, I'll create a thing out of that, Yeet United.
Yeah,
I'm like, perfect. I tried like doing more, and I can't take credit for that model because my friend Rogue Echo, not Shadow, Rogue Echo, he helped me build the model, in which I'm like, thank you so much, I appreciate it. And then I wanted to create a story with her, but I didn't know exactly how. And then I kind of digress from that. 'Cause I'm like, oh, it's just chill. Just have it as a chill model. You're good to go. Later on the line, I met who did I meet first? Kaneko or Leo? I think I met Kaneko first, who taught me. Well, not taught me. He's like, hey, do you want to come to this world and mess around as his character? I'm like, okay. So we went. I didn't realize it was RP at the time. I'm like, I walked into this world. It was a session where everybody was acting weird. I don't know. I don't understand why, but they were just RPing, which I didn't fully understand. And it was PL, Purple Lotus. I'm like, everyone's just chilling, and I tried to hold myself down. I was still new to the VRChat community-ish, around the time. Twitter had like almost 200 followers. But then I was still in the mindset of freaking out to people I've seen on stream and the big guys.
You've seen on YouTube and everything, like different compilations too.
YouTube. Exactly. I'm like, oh, there's neither. All right, mute yourself. Don't freak out. Like, and then lots of other people were in there, and then Sashi as well. He was there. It's just so many people, and I'm like, okay. And I copied his model. And I had to basically act like the same thing, but there's a cloning issue in character, and it was so weird to do because then I ended up just I'm like, yeah, I don't know either, that type of shit. He had his own thing. I just had to go with it. He eventually left, and I went back in, but as young Kara, or I call her young Kara now. She's shorter. And I just absorbed the atmosphere. I'm like, oh, this place is pretty cool, I'm not gonna lie, And I stayed in character, although I didn't know how to do it. I'm like, well, this is nice, This is good. Then I met Leo, who I think I met him when I was in Vancouver, so I wasn't home. But I saw a rather handsome-looking human being on Twitter as a model. I'm like, that's a man. That's a dope looking model right there. Plus he has blue eyes. That's a bonus. I'm like, that looks good. And then I think I took that photo. Right. Obviously it was his photo, so credit to him. I took it and I did a splash edit, so I made the eyes bluer. I put everything else as black and white. And he liked it. And then we followed each other on Twitter. And it was chill from there. I didn't really think too much about it because I didn't know who he was. But I'm like, that's a cool model. That's dope. Eventually, I think there was an invite to his Discord, in which it was all Spanish. So I'm like, oh, hi. Okay, well, this is something.
Yeah, did I get the wrong Discord or so, or?
No, well, it was, he invited me to. I'm like, okay, so I'm in the right Discord, but I don't understand a single thing they're saying. So I'm like, let's put this here for now, because I was in my own. I was trying to figure out my own stuff at the time, so I couldn't really just focus on a different one. And then I eventually left because I'm like, nah, they don't understand me, so it's fine. I don't want to ruin anything that they have. And then later down the line, I think through a few DM messages, it's like, hey, would you like a model? I'm like, what, you're just gonna give me a model? It's like, yeah, would you like a model of your thing? I'm like, okay, yeah, cool, that's dope.
Yep.
And then he came out with the first gen Kara. I'm like, oh, okay. So this is cool. I would switch to it, but I don't want to interrupt the world anything right now. But it was cool. I'm like, I felt special in a way. I didn't understand why. Right. Only later to find out, it's like, oh, he made the model, and I'm like, oh, this looks amazing. And then all of a sudden I have a story. I'm like, oh, this is gonna be great. And then obviously I incorporated him into Kara's story. Which was eventually nerfed because I was a beginner at RP.
You didn't have an idea of how to make it fair for anything here and there, but
yeah, I made it. It was terrible, and it actually had problems with legit people. Not going to bring it up, but he also knew proper Purple Lotus. I'm like, well, this is just coincidental because I didn't expect him to know about Purple Lotus, so we just chilled in there. And around that time, that's when I had VR. The better part is that when I first entered in, I still have it as a clip on Twitch. because they were just having a generic conversation. I was using my own voice, which I felt comfortable in, but I'm like, well, it doesn't suit the character. It's a male voice and a female model.
Yeah. You get that weird perspective.
It's not,
Then you begin to
we had
realize.
a shit ton of fun. And I still didn't understand how RP worked, but I was just doing it. I'm like, oh, this is fun. RP is great, And I continued with the story from there. And then changed up the voice, like, hello, my name is Kyle. Like instead of using my normal voice, which is it was weird. The people later on, I was like, didn't you sound like a man before? I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know why I also put the British accent. I was just good at that. I did it.
You were just somehow good at doing a British accent, which honestly, in that kind of scenario, which keep in mind in VRChat itself, the norm is basically no matter what it is or so, even if you have a male voice and a female like avatar or so, basically we just go along with it. Like really, it's the norm for the most part. Like no one questions it; it just goes along with it, with how it is. So.
It was from there, and then progression went on. I'm in that Discord for almost 3 years now at this point. Or almost. I'm reaching the 3-year mark, and I haven't really left. Leo's an amazing human being, and kudos. I give a lot of credit to him because he's the one who built who I am today. Like in terms of RP, like Kara wouldn't have been who she was. I came up with the name Kara, but her story was mainly Leonhardt related. Right, and then finding out later, it's like, oh, she doesn't have to be just Leonhardt, but she can be literally anywhere. The name Kara resides in different universes, which was great, But the foundation of her was Leonhardt.
I see.
To a base,
No,
I wouldn't be able to get there. I would not have been able to get there without him.
I will say too, also like through the power of like RP or so, I know it's like one of those places where basically you just create your own backstory, have your own character, different things. But little did you know, it's like in a way, it's like a foundation where basically you, who gets the fundamentals of RP, can basically learn the fundamentals from different ways with RPing in general. And
or looking at different RPs as a whole, and it's like, oh, this one's different from this one. They operate different from like this one. It's different every single time.
And I feel like since you and Leo are like best of friends or so, through Leo and everything, you were able to meet like different other people on hand. Like this is where basically it just like you met so many different people where it basically led you to like different RPs. Like I believe like through Leo you met Curry and just basically was able to get into the Vengeance RP and just for how different.
Actually, no.
Believe
it or not, I knew Curry before I knew Leo. I didn't know him personally. Again, I was the youngin with the nostalgic mind, because how did I meet Curry? I met Curry through a Nags thing. Nags again. I was in his Discord. There was like a not weird. It was a talk right after the stream. Like he's like, oh, the community sort of talk thing in his Discord, And then Curry joined. I'm like, oh shit, it's a booty war. Like I was fucking like, huh. And it was public. I'm like, this is public. I meet one of the funniest people in the world, and it's public for everybody to talk to him. I'm like, oh, this is amazing, And the thing is, like, it's weird because all I wanted to do at that time when I met Curry, after hearing him laugh on his own channel, like he was, what the hell did he do? He threw snow at Grillby in character, and I didn't realize it was an RP thing because he was laughing his ass off. I'm like, is this RP or are you guys just messing around? And he laughed so significantly. I've never heard that laugh before. I'm like, I want to make this man laugh.
you make your destiny. It is my destiny to make this man laugh. Make the booty warrior laugh.
Yeah, I'm like, he reminds me, like, for not to bring skin or anything, but like black comedians. Fucking funny, in my opinion, right? I listen to Kevin Hart a lot. One of them, also another favorite is Godfrey. Like those people. He has the potential of a comedian. And he is.
Yeah.
And listening to like how he does RP was amazing, and the times he has fun, and especially his laughter, I'm like, I'm gonna make this man laugh. I have to one day.
I think I remember correctly, he tries to aspire to be one.
Well, I hope he manages to do it. He's already doing it well on Twitch, 30,000 plus, congrats to him. But at the time, I assume he had a fair amount. But he it's to make anyone laugh is really gratifying to me because I know I'm doing something right, as opposed to make someone cry. Like I would not want to do that. I'm like, I want to make this guy specifically laugh and see what happens. But I wasn't really thinking like I'm low on the margin here. Like he's not gonna pay attention to some low life because like I wasn't all too confident. But it was good to see him in general. It was good to see everybody. Met him at Twitchcon, met Nags at Twitchcon, met everybody else. It was great. Little I know, I'm helping him manage Vengeance, and he sees me as a good RPer. I don't see myself as a good RPer because I could improve where I can, but for some reason he did.
Well, that's the funny thing. That's the funny thing about it, which I will share with you. Even if you don't see yourself as good at this and this and this, I can assure you're gonna have 100 people behind you that are gonna say, "No, you're wrong." Because they can see something in you, even if you can't see something in yourself, and vice versa. You can see something in somebody else, even if they can't see anything in themselves.
Yeah, it's the self-deprecating mentality that we are unfortunately born with because even hearing our own voices through anything else is bad. Like you see yourself in camera, you're like, oh, that was me, or your voice sounds like terrible in your opinion, but everybody else is fine. It's what we're built with. It's unfortunate, but we just have to learn to live with it. And I have, personally, because I don't care anymore.
No, which is good.
But yeah, yeah. I guess because I stuck in the mindset of just being in VRChat in general. I'm like, you'll meet him. You'll probably meet him one day. It's fine. And then lo and behold, I did on VRC in the hangout house. The not little. It's a fucking mansion with and it was VRChat. This is HD VRChat desktop mode where I was there and I was also crashing because you had like 60 plus other people with him, but that's besides the point. And I'm like, holy shit. And I'm a very superstitious person. I'm like, is this set in stars? Like, you're actually there. I joined off of somebody else. I don't know who. I can't remember. But I'm like, you're there. Don't wreck this because this won't happen again, even if you thought about it really hard. So then I was just there chilling. I didn't really say much or just like little spiteful things here and there to like encourage comedy.
No, I get you.
And eventually through that day, I became friends. Right? I was a very busy human being though. Like at work, IRL was
it was just
a thing.
Yeah, it was a thing.
Stay up long like he does. Yeah. But the times where I got to say, join on them was when he was available. He wasn't doing anything major. And then the time I'll just be there like, hey Curry, it's good to see you again, man. Hope you have yourself a good night. I'm gonna bounce out. I just wanted to see my friends real quick, and you're one of them, so like that type of spiel. And as the man is, very respectful, he would say the same back. It's like, oh, it's good to see you. I hope you have a good night. I'm like, it's cool. This is great. And then more and more that I played this game, I'm like, he's not famous. He's a friend, right? It's like you got to get rid of that mentality of people's like, oh, I met this famous dude, and I'm friends with said famous person.
Which I could tell you.
Later,
no, go ahead. Sorry.
Apologies. No, you go ahead.
No, okay. I was about to say it's kind of a passing feeling where basically when you get starstruck by somebody, that basically you understand. You meet somebody famous or so. You never thought you'd meet them. And then after, you realize that or so and kind of like piece things together, you begin to realize, it's a human being you met too. Yeah, it's one of those things. And basically, once you get past that, you begin to realize everybody's a human being too. No matter how famous they are or anything, on VRChat, they're all human beings. And it's just a matter of basically kind of reaching out and see how they're doing.
You don't defy gravity, they have the same physics. They all go to the bathroom the same. Like, you have to take those into consideration. It's like, really, Curry's a great human being, but he lives the life, right? He did what he did to get to this point as a hard worker, not someone who's pampered, right? Like if he lived through the struggle, he has gotten out of somewhat and has had help over time, right? Which I bet, because without the community, you don't. but then I like over time I got rid of that mentality. It's like Curry is a friend. He's like a great friend. He's a hilarious human being, right? And now you, as one of his friends and supporters, from time to time, you would see him to his goal, as much as you probably see me to my goal, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which it's not his obligation, but is appreciated nonetheless, you know. And he would think the same way.
Yeah.
We at this point it's like Vengeance RP is a passion project between him and a lot of other people in the RP, and we want to see to it as successful, right? And we got to put all the stuff aside, and it's like this: we got to make this work so we can all be happy in the end. We make amazing content for people to watch, and it'll be gratifying in the end. And that's how RP was.
Yeah.
So I've known to words.
No, you're good. You're good.
That time where you just forget where you're about to say.
No, you're fine. No, it's all good. I will say too that one thing I will say, which actually, as we were talking about this, I just realized it brought up another question I would like to ask you is, when it comes to meeting people, once you get past, people who are, who are famous, or like on VRChat, or basically people who, you never thought you would be able to meet, in VRChat person, so to speak, or so. How do you approach be able to say, try to get over that anxiety to be able to have like a chill conversation with them? Be able to kind of reach out just to be like, hey, how you been? How's life treating you? Or, just be able to have like a good, like casual conversation with them, even if you don't know what you could be able to talk to them about.
It's called express interest, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're not interested in what they have, you're interested in what they are. And unfortunately, saying interested in what they are sounds a bit shitty, mind you, but it also delves into two different factors. It's either you're an asshole who's trying to mooch off a famous person,
mm-hmm.
or you're a great person trying to like get into the mind of this person to see how they succeed, or you're just a good person trying to talk to another good person,
Try to be human with another human being.
Exactly. And to put it past you, it's hard in the beginning, mind you, because you're like the starstruck stuff happens. But then you realize, let me put that aside. Let me listen. Let me observe. Let me see what they are, or what they can do.
Mm-hmm.
You are there in that moment.
Yeah.
And you're trying to see what makes them tick. You're not there to piss them off. You're not there to just ask questions on a constant, or ask them for things, or to like, by example, hey, can I stream with you type of sort of spiel?
Yeah.
Because that's mooching.
Yeah, that's just rude on it. And also too, it's about it's a matter of just kind of like feeling the flow of energy, because here's what I've learned. Everybody's got a different flow of energy, no matter what it is, in personality-wise or so. Like, some people have, like, this chill personality where you can easily feel comfortable, just kind of, like, break the ice with. Sometimes people have, like, this, hyperactive kind of mode where basically, you're trying to keep up, just trying to feel how to be able to keep with that motion or so. And then you have certain people out there with, like, energies where basically you got to get past the idea, basically, that not all of them are very serious. It's just basically them playing a character or so. And sometimes it's kind of, at times you just gotta see right through the cracks for it. So it's a matter of feeling things out for the most part, just feeling things all the way out. So.
Yeah, and then you eventually click with another friend as opposed to another famous person, right?
Mm-hmm.
You be good to them, they be good to you back, and whatever happens in the future happens, right?
Yeah, it's all a matter of luck.
Make sure you have the. Get rid of, well, unless you're actually 13, get rid of the 13-year-old mind as a 20-year-old or as an 18-year-old, and try to be good to them as opposed to want things from them,
No, I understand.
Because otherwise you're just looked at as a typical something.
No, I understand. I understand fully. Let's see here. Besides topics and everything, and we talked about cars, and we talked about photography, I will ask you about the question of basically the VRChat current president we have now. Now, the thing is, compared to, like, say, 2018 or so when we first got into the game in general or so, we didn't know anything about optimization. We didn't know really anything about it. We just knew about the game in general and just basically... And it's oddly enough, through the game in general, that it's like VRChat is basically the most expensive free game you would ever want to play. And I say expensive because you would upgrade your computer, get trackers, get a headset, get a headset, and basically just so you can have that full body experience, be able to just experience how people else experience, be able to see how your hands are moving, be able to like do much more in expression, especially like RPs in general, or basically be a content creator, say like Neither, who fully, full potential, uses full body, just be able to be a dancer and be able to be like a parody singer of like different songs they do on hand. Like compare that to like the current now, where basically they're trying to like continue to upgrade certain things or so. Like right now, they threw away the whole coding process of what they have and go with the C++ thing, just to have a more stable kind of like a more stable network in a way. So can you so any ideas on your mindset with the current present of VRChat we have now compared to like say back then when you first started?
So if we were to have things back then, it'd be probably worse for the game. As opposed to now, there's a lot of great improvements in the game with the optimization stuff. Increased frame rate. Like a lot of things. 2018 has brought great things. Unity 2018. But it obviously comes with its bugs. Like connectivity is an issue. Just the game running sometimes is an issue. Like I'd say VRChat's current state could use some improvements, but are attempting to get on the right track. Most people think otherwise. In my opinion, yeah, but can you do a little bit more and also focus on the things that actually need to be worked on, as opposed to adding new things like from time to time? Because I assume a lot of people don't ask for those things, because it's just like whatever we actually ask for has been pushed underneath the rug, and like here, distraction. That's what I get the vibe of. But if they focus on the things that actually need to be done, like security issues, like people are still crashing, people are crashing other people still. We can't. We need to focus on that a lot, as opposed to just features and features and features. We need to like have the game to be stable before adding features. Again, much like building a car, you can throw on the new rims, you can throw on the new body kit, you can, tear the roof off, whatever. It's not going to change the fact that the engine runs like shit.
No, I get you.
You can't just like cover up and expect something good when it's not really good at all, and it needs drastic improvements. I mean, I'm glad on my i3 I have a really shit i3.
Yeah, I know you're running this
game, especially in VR.
Yeah, which I'm amazed by, really, especially because you're able to get by by using i3, especially when a game like this, as it keeps upgrading over time with like its different updates. And so I feel like sooner or later that's really going to bog it down sooner or later, especially with your own computer, which I hope you'll be able to get a good upgrade on hand, especially so you can be able to like do a lot more, because I know you enjoy like everything you ever made, especially with the amount of time you put in this game. So
exactly, like 4,000 plus hours. Jesus Christ. A little story. This computer I did not buy with my own money. It was given to me by someone within that friends group. His name is Scrap, and to this day I thank him, because I would not have been able to get to where I was without him. Because I ran a shit 960 as opposed to now a 1070 Ti thing with an i3. But he did it out of the good of his heart. He gave it to me for free on top of that, which again, holy fuck. So that credits to him for that. But as I say, like, you need to like fix things where needed, and not just add things a lot, because
I always had this theory that with VRChat in general, I feel like the biggest thing that kind of made it hard for it to constantly not be able to fix stuff is just popularity in general. Because the thing is, when you have popularity behind a game or so, you're going to have a lot of numbers of people coming in. And because of that, or so, when you have so many numbers of people coming in here and there, what ends up happening is basically, if you fix something, or they try to do like patches and everything, sooner or later it's going to break, because the sheer amount of number of people stressing out like the network in general, or be able to like, because VRChat does not have the capability of basically to shut a game down just so they can apply patches, be able to like, basically put a brick down and just like smear concrete on it so it can stick. Then basically putting like a Band-Aid on like a giant wound and hopefully it'll heal.
Yeah, it's not. It's we can't just attempt to cover up the massive issue,
Mhm.
and expect everything to be fine. It's not, And to poke a bit, I saw the was a dev thing for the new UI. As much as I appreciate that, no, because there's still things that need to be fixed. You cannot be just focused on that unless you have a dedicated team to patches. I don't know for sure, and I'm not VRChat. I will never claim to be a better game developer than them. No, but what I can see visibly is that just put that down for a second. Just like take this and fix it.
Yeah.
Please, like take that.
Then again, when it comes down to it, we don't know what's happening behind, the main people behind the game in general. We don't know if there's going to be like a lot of different things they're balancing or juggling on hand, especially considering that they might be doing some other things besides just this game in general. They might be just doing some different things they're trying to balance here and there, which oddly enough, if that's the case, then you would think they would have more help on hand, but we don't know until they can be upfront with it.
They got more staff, which is I guess good, because obviously there's improvements. Like there's something for them to be able to say, hey, we need more people on this, means that they want to make something work. So that's good.
Extra hand has extra handling. So
exactly. Yeah, that's my take on the status of VRChat. Fix it. You're doing good. But fix the right things.
Got you. One thing I will say too, which I've noticed this too, which brings up another question on hand, and that's basically not in the game in general, but basically when it comes down to like just be able to see like different people on hand or so in the way or so with VRChat entirely. Past the game herself, this game has definitely brought a lot of good friends to you, like through it. Yeah. And I know this, and I would know this too because you and I got a chance to meet in person at San Diego. And
yeah, that was amazing.
Yeah, it was. And I know it might have been your first time experience being able to go to California. Hell, it was my first time experience going to California entirely. Just be able to see like so many different people, be able to see my closest friends, be able to see Sai in person, and just be able to see people, behind the screen of who they are and everything. I just know for the fact that certain people are exactly as they are. Certain people are exactly as they are wearing a headset or just basically behind the computer screen, which is nice. And I will ask this: do you have any crazy experiences from when you went over there to TwitchCon for San Diego wise?
So I got flipped on my ass. In the pool at the estate that we were staying at.
Wait, really?
Yeah. I got how do you say this? So I'm before TwitchCon, I met up with Coffee and C mainly, and then another person. God damn it, I'm another friend. J-Box, because he allowed us to stay at his place for the time being until we got to San Diego. Which was great because we all connected more so than we have ever done, through Discord or VRChat. Like we were there together as a trio.
Yep.
Right. And then TwitchCon came, which came. Oh fuck! It had a lot of surprises because I didn't expect a lot of people to know who I was or what I looked like. I'm like, holy shit! I'm legit surprised. Like Saya, you, like so many different people, like the like HD. I'm like, oh shit! I'm like, what's going on? It was great, and it brought more connections. Like, oh my god, like it was great to see. Not a conglomerate of pixels, mind you. No offense, like you're a nice array of pixels. That's great. But to see you IRL was even better because I'm like, this is the person behind the conglomerate of pixels.
It's a person you can actually hug.
Amazing.
You can actually hug and
actually hug and like smile with, and it was so memorable to be with everybody.
I will say,
and we like have
Yeah, just have like so
fun
many moments.
conversations.
Yeah, conversation and everything. And I will say too, like I guarantee a lot of people recognize you just because you are able to casually be able, take a nice picture of yourself, no matter what the situation is on
Yeah.
hand, and just be able to like have a casual time. And just because of that, people are able to vibe off that and just remember who you are and such. I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not that type of person. I am not. I don't take too many pictures on hand, nor do I record myself doing a lot of different things on hand. You got the courage to do that. Just because your cat, it's just a normal thing for you. Just kind of a normal.
I'm not gonna hide anything really, because like if you want to know me, you got to know me the way I will let off, and I will let off a lot of stuff. But the moment going back was at the pool at the estate that we're staying, which we got to. The owner name was Hara, and on VRC Legends is known as the
Hara. I know him. Are
great.
Are we talking Hara Hara?
Yeah. Exactly.
Yes, I know him. He's a hell of a chill person. Jesus,
he's a great ass person. We were showing this estate. It was really like mentioned. Like I'm like, well, this is big, but then I'm like, oh yeah, it's America, not Canada, so it's this is standard price. Me and Coffee and a bunch of others. I think one of them was Respawn, Silva, and a lot of people were just chilling in the pool. And as a man, I am not good at swimming, and a lot of advantage taken because I was flipped into the pool by Coffee, and Curie was there as well. He took the video. It was on Twitter, but it's gone now, unfortunately. But it was. I got flipped on my ass. I'm like, oh god! And then I looked at the footage. I'm like, holy shit! I legit just got thrown around like a paperweight. And that was that was the more memorable thing. Because Coffee is a strong man. Like he's a very strong human being. So he just like, And I flipped, and I'm like, oh, this is water's up my nose and shit. Everyone's laughing. We're having a great time. We're all having a great time. Coffee and the like are like blessed human beings, all of them. And then I'd say the second most memorable moment was being with C and Coffee in general. The third most was at the VRChat community meetup, which I didn't see myself going to, right? Because, well, it was a goal. I'm like, it's gonna take a long time to get to that because number one, you have to go to America by yourself.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, that's gonna be hard. Then during I have to go back a bit.
I was gonna say, and you never flown before, have you? Or
no, not by myself. Like I've been to places like England, Florida, and just England, Florida as far as I went, but not by myself to California. And before all of this, I was actually not in a good way. I lost my job due to some things, unspecifically. And Coffee and C were the only two, well, not only two, but like they were there a lot of the time. We hung out a lot, and I wouldn't have gotten to Twitchcon or America in general without C. C pulled something amazing where she got me a flight. It's like, I want to see you. And I'm like, well, okay, so I'm gonna spend the rest of my life trying to pay you back for this. Because obviously, like, as undeserving as I am, I gotta show appreciation. I got to say, like, take it and like, haha, thank you, fuck you. I'm not gonna.
No, I got you.
I'm like, I don't deserve this, like it's that mentality. I was like, how the fuck do I take a compliment? It's not easy for me and probably most other people.
No, I understand. And
then
the thing about compliments is basically, which I find it weird because especially in a game like this, where basically if you call anybody cutie, they are completely complex by it. And just be and two, when it comes to compliments or so, just know for a fact that even if you don't see it, like you said, even if you don't see it in you with it or so, you're always going to be reminded about the many things on hand you have. Like even if you like, the one key thing you need to know is that you are definitely a hard worker. Like no matter what situation on hand, you've proven on a shadow of a doubt that you want to work hard for something and you want to basically accomplish a lot. And I see you can do that. I can see it.
Yeah. I do I'm not gonna big myself up here, but I've done a lot in the last 2 years as opposed to what I've been doing like previously. Because I'm like, I didn't think I'll get to this point, but then gears start working together, and then I am where I am now. Not saying that I'm some big shot or anything, but I have
you're good.
An amount, I'd say.
Well, no, I understand, but I understand. Just know for the fact that, hey, even if you feel like, the tides have not rolled your way, or basically if it's one of those things where basically as little by little as time goes by and everything, just know this. You're in Ligon. Believe in me who believes in you. Believe in the people who are right behind you because they believe in you and they will help you every step of the way. And not only that, they know they know you're gonna do good.
And I also am not taking any credit for where I am because without the people I know to this day still, I wouldn't have gotten to where I am without them. As cheesy as that sounds, it's fucking true.
No, that's fine.
That's true. Lot of people like main YouTube. Okay, unfortunately, I'm pulling out the YouTube personality thing. Per YouTube personality, it's like, oh my god, thank you guys. I wouldn't have done it without you. All your support. I'm talking on legitimate personal level, where the people I talk to also shown support for me to be where I am today. Whether it be advice, just chilling, having a good time, having conversation, having fun, RPing, I would not have gotten to where I am without them at all. Otherwise, I'll be just schmuck, probably just off on his own doing whatever, and having a salty attitude later on the line. It's like, eh.
I got you. No, I got you. And like I said, I'm pretty sure everybody in the world appreciates you. Especially understand I call it brutal honesty, because when you have that entirely, you could basically just don't have to fear about what's on your mind, especially when it comes down to your honest opinion about different things that would. When you see certain things here and there and everything. So, so it's always a good trait to have on hand with everything in general. So let me check here. Let me check here really quickly. Besides that, or so, if I could think of another question off the top of my head here before we get to our closing one on hand. The one thing I will say too entirely, do you suppose that based not even on this game in general, but basically, do you think there might be another game out there you might expand on? Say, basically, if it catches your interest, or basically, say, in the sense of, like, if something has something a little bit different to it and you want to try, like, say, for example, like a GTA 5, like an RP server, or basically kind of like, what am I thinking of? There's like, different games out there that have, like, this weird kind of concept to it, but for the most part, if it has something different to it that you can enjoy, you would probably try to expand on it. If you had the opportunity to do that, or if there's some different ones out there which you tried to, in the sense of like something just a little bit refreshing, say if you feel a little bit burned out.
I mean, I don't think I can. I'm too well adjusted to this game with the amount of hours put into it, because every game works differently, every server works differently, every online experience, quote unquote, works differently, right? GTA, as an example, no, because the community on there is it has a great community, but the one I've been most exposed to is rather toxic. So I just like, well, I try, but not likely. But thanks anyway.
No, I got you.
And any other game, it would have to be either similar or just VRChat, because you can't like have the moments you had in VRChat with either with like a controller, for lack of a better word.
Yeah, well, like controllers or hands here.
The RP community in VRChat is definitely a lot of swinging, like VR based, right? And even if you don't have VR, you can throw a lot of stuff into your model to reenact certain scenes. And you can't reenact them with other games because they don't like cater to the community like that, where you can just put your own literally anything into that game, because they're all stuck on their own stuff, and microtransactions. Because but you can't. If anyone tried to replicate VRChat, which the recent Chill Out VR thing,
yeah, Chill, and then you have like Neosphere, which is more like a creator space, because people can just create their own different things for it.
Exactly. It's you got those, but it's not the same.
It doesn't have the same feeling.
It doesn't have the same feeling. Or maybe I'm just too well adjusted to VRChat at this point, because again, I started 2018.
No, I can see it. I mean, because I've been here since 2008. I've been here since no, actually, I want to say November 2017, actually. So, but
So
I,
you're one of the first.
not even close. I know somebody who's actually the first, and they've been here since July 2017. But
Okay.
but the thing is that when you get that constant feeling of a game that you're well connected to, because you're able to meet so many different people from so many different places, and just be able to well connect to them or so, it's just amazing because it's like, damn, I wish there was a community where basically, all the people you're ever connected are just nearby. Like,
Yeah.
like just imagine there'll be imagine like a giant neighborhood of every person you ever met that you've ever been friends with, and they're nearby with you, and you could just always go hang out with them, or basically just go together and be like, I don't know, say like go and like have like a midnight run and go to a Waffle House and basically just shoot the breeze about everything in general, just talk about life and all that. Like, that's how VRChat is in that sense, where basically, even if it's not a neighborhood or like a real life neighborhood, you can always go by and see how everybody is, and just basically be like drinking from across the pond or anything, or just be able to just, talk about how, everything's been. It's pleasant.
Yeah, you are where you are, and I am where I am. Like we're literally like canonically like 3 feet apart. But you're in America, and I'm in Canada. Like it's that close. Plus, with little to no latency. Speaking about life,
Yeah, just speaking about life.
Like you said, like drinking buddies. The typical 3, 2, 1, and then everyone takes a sip in the room. Different parts of the world, or different parts of America, different parts of Canada, different parts of like everywhere.
Everywhere in general.
And it's that's why you guys throw appreciation to this game, because not a lot of games can do that. Well, not a lot. Unless you have like the AAA ones, just like Call of Duty. Like you could probably do a shot with somebody on Call of Duty,
and
same sort of spiel. But they're not in front of you. They're just in game. This game is free, and you can do that.
Yeah, and the bonds you take from here, even if you guys don't play like the game itself often or so, sometimes you take that bonds and try like different games. Like say even if you guys didn't want to hang on VRChat, you could play games together because you were able to find that bondage for this game to be able to try some different stuff and then basically come back. Like it could be like a free game night where you could just be playing like, I don't know, Halo, Terraria, or something together, just doing stuff like that.
Anything to get that connection, but that good connection base, which is this game.
Which is this game, yeah, and it's done a marvelous job of forging that, like, with all things considered. So, So before we close it off or anything, I have a following question to ask you, and I'm letting you have the floor entirely for this. And pretty much your camera's right there as much as my camera is there. So I would like to ask for you to let be it my chat or everybody that ever came in here to be able to show you support and everything, let them know, what are your goals and dreams? What is it that you want to inspire to be, and more along the lines of what do you want to, by the end of everything else, what did you want to achieve for all things considered?
Okay. The goal has changed a lot throughout my lifetime due to a lot of things, a lot of factors. So I don't really have a goal, to be honest, because the cliche, I want to be the best I can be, and there's a lot of words to that, because if you feel that you yourself can improve, then you gotta try, and I have a shit ton of improvements I can make. Which I would be more than happy to do. And my goals don't exist as much as they should. Say how I have the goal of becoming a doctor, a lawyer, or whatever. I'm like, my goal is to live a life where whatever happens, and I am absolutely satisfied with the result, because in the end, you're living a life to live, and not living a life with for the sake of achievements or better than the next guy, or competition in general. You live a life to be the best who you literally can be, and even if you are the best, you can still make more improvements to become better than what you already are, right? Don't sit down in a corner and expecting everything to be handed to you on the silver platter. You got to work for it. You got to work for it hard, right? And whatever that takes you in life, depending on your interests, will be the result of hard work and dedication, right? As I say, stay dedicated, because otherwise you're not really doing much and you're just waiting for things to happen. You got to do a lot of the stuff yourself, you know. So I am HDMG, a goalless man who is willing to live life to the fullest and see what happens down the road with whatever, because otherwise, not really myself. That's how it is.
Yeah. And that right there is the honest words from a pretty much brutally honest man. And that's why a lot of people love you. I can assure you right off the back. So, oh yeah, there we go.